Welcome to Be the Light 365. I'm Pastor Jay. We're in Mark chapter 2, verses 23 through 28 for our Bible study. Now, Jesus and his disciples, they're walking through a cornfield on the Sabbath, and his disciples are hungry, so they start plucking corn and start shelling and eating it. Well, here's the Pharisees. They're complaining, hey, it's not lawful for them to be doing that on the Sabbath because they considered it work. And isn't that kind of funny? That's how the devil is sometimes. Doesn't matter what you're doing, doesn't matter if it's good or bad, actually, he's always complaining if you're doing something wrong. He's trying to make you feel guilty every time you turn around. Jesus tells the Pharisee, he says, hey, have you ever read when David was hungry that he went into the temple and got shawbread and even gave it to his men that was with him? He said, did you not know that the Sabbath was made for man and not man for the Sabbath? And therefore, the Son of Man is Lord also of the Sabbath. Jesus is the Lord of the Sabbath. Like a lot of people don't want to observe the Sabbath. Matter of fact, I've heard that 1,000 times by even preachers and pastors. They'll come and say, well, we don't have to observe Sabbath no more. Jesus is the Lord of the Sabbath. Wouldn't you want to observe something for the Lord of the Sabbath? Wouldn't you want to give your time for that? That's why I always gotta get, is the one part over in James says, if you break one commandment, you break them all. But the Sabbath is not what Jesus was talking about here, was that not everything that you do breaks laws. If you're out there doing something willingly, doing something intentionally with malice, yes. But when you're doing it because you're hungry, or if your ox falls into a ditch, as he puts it, then God understands. If you're hungry and you need to eat, God understands. If you need to help somebody, God's going to understand. It's what Jesus is saying here. God understands. But we need to observe the Sabbath. Give a time for rest. Take a break from this world.